special presentation. So John, I'm going to ask you to take over.
Thank you all very much. I'm John Epicello, sports director at Channel 10 since probably before you were all born. That's okay though. That means I have good historical perspective. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so we've been doing the First and 10 show in its extended fashion since 2005 or thereabouts. And at that time, we decided it was important that we become a community. So what I mean by that is we cover y'all, but we needed to get to know y'all and make sure we basically put you and us and all the other schools we cover into kind of a family atmosphere. So we have 58 schools we cover over, I don't know how many miles, but it goes from Rockbridge all the way to the Seminole District, all the way down here, obviously, Mountain Empire, et cetera, et cetera. And so our job is to cover you as best we can throughout the high school season. Every week during the football season, we name a player of the week, and that is an award we give out. At the end of the year, pre-COVID, we used to have a banquet and invite everybody to come and break bread together. Now, unfortunately, our lives have all changed a little bit since then, so the banquet has not come back, but we have not gone away. So our job then is to pick out the player, coach, and any special awards that would be given out throughout the year. I don't need to tell you what a special season it was here. During your football season, I think we've got some guys behind me who were part of that. We pay attention, and looking back on it, there was a lot of hurdles you got through during your football season, a lot of injuries, a lot to overcome, and a big run made and a breakthrough made. And there was one guy of our 58 coaches that we cover that we felt like did the best job, was the best for his team, was the best for his school, was the best for his students, and did the most, and that's Coach Harner. So, we don't, yeah, come on up, Coach. We don't take this stuff lightly. We have a committee who votes. And our First and 10 WSLS Coach of the Year is Coach Harner. Congratulations. I asked you about your family just because I know what kind of commitment it takes to get your team where you got them, and what a crazy balancing act that can be. And if you don't have support at home and you don't have support at the school, this type of stuff doesn't happen. So can you talk a little bit about that and just kind of how you were able to make it all work?
Yeah, my wife, I mean, she's amazing. Any coach's wife is. What they have to deal with and what they go through to pretty much run the family, run the household, run everything else that's going on, and allow me to do something that I love to do and help other kids out. And you know, you really don't know how much you miss or the commitment it is until you get a head coaching job. And it's a lot, and especially, you know, the further you go, it gets even tougher because the stress gets a little bit more, the games get a little bit heavier, and you know, her and my kids were just fantastic. And without her, I wouldn't be able to do it, and we wouldn't have got where we were today, or this year.
A couple of them are sitting back here, but I guess it's 9 seniors you're losing. And I hate the word losing. They're moving on, but yeah, they did great things. Tell me about that group and what made them special.
Oh, that group, this group of seniors this year, they were just even since where they were freshmen, you could just tell that there was a certain ambition about them, a want to, that they had maybe even a little bit greater as freshmen than some of the older classes did. And then, this year they just really wanted to take the next step. And we just preached and taught them what it's going to take to get there. And man, did they. And they just never stopped believing in themselves or us as coaches. And even when we hit some rocks and bumps and had some injuries, this senior class led us all the way. And without one of them there, we wouldn't have made it to the state championship game. They're all fantastic kids, and you have to have that if you're going to make it to the state championship game. You got to have great kids too.
And I alluded to it, but you guys did have some hurdles. You had some guys get hurt. You had to wait till they got back, and you had to persist in the interim to keep moving forward and make sure you advance. So talk to me about that and kind of what you learned as a coach and maybe what they learned from you by being able to get through all that and still come out on the other side, because I think that's a lesson for the kids that they probably took.
Yeah, absolutely. We knew that we could be pretty good this year, so we kind of beefed up our schedule a little bit the coming years and scrimmages, because I wanted our kids to be pushed. I didn't want us to have just an easy scrimmage. I wanted somebody who's going to push us. I didn't care if we got beat. Didn't matter. This year in regular season we had Radford, we had Graham, and we lost to Grundy in the regular season. We had some injuries and lost to them. They outplayed us that week, but each time that we lost those games, our kids never got down. They never started blaming each other. They never started arguing with each other. We came in on Monday, we watched film and said, all right, I got to fix this. I would get texts on the weekends, Coach, I messed up. That's when you got something special. And I didn't care how far we went. When you have something like that, it means a lot. But I think through those hurdles of playing those tough games and even losing them, it shows you what kind of kids and what kind of team you had and what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go. And, when we got some kids hurt, you had others that really just stepped up and got us through those areas. Playing Grundy that week, which was, we had to throw them in on a schedule because we lost the game, and losing to them, we all look back now, and that's probably the best thing that happened to us. The kids knew they didn't play well. I needed to do some things defensively to slow them down. And when we played them in that state semifinal games, all the kids were focused because they knew if they didn't come in, it was gone. It was over because we'd already lost to them once. So, it was a special group of kids and a special season.
The last one I have is, do you feel like now you broke through and you've obviously been there? Has it set the bar now so that kids understand the expectation, but also understand what it takes to get there? And now maybe they can, you've broken through there and they can build from there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing is when I took this job, though, is I wanted to continue the tradition that other coaches and players had set before me. And I wanted to continue to go after me. So, the bar had been set in this community to lead a championship program. But, when you do it during my tenure, yeah, it does mean a lot. And hopefully for the younger kids, it shows that, this group did it. Why can't we do that as well? So I'm hoping that progresses into the future and the work ethic of the senior group bleeds into the younger ones as well.